So welcome to Hollywood, the tinsel mecca.
Hey, thanks for joining us at Driving Through Hollywood. We're headed on Sunset Boulevard at Sunset Junction in East Hollywood and Silverlake, and we are headed west. It is another beautiful blue sky day in Hollywood, California. The traffic situation here is absolutely not normal. Normally there's a lot of traffic, but because of the situation, this is one of the benefits that we actually get is less traffic. We just passed Children's Hospital Complex. It's a lovely hospital. There's a lot of doctors, nurses, and medical staff walking around the area. Besides police sirens, children's emergency evac, helicopters, and ambulance sirens. It's a pretty mellow neighborhood, but knowing that the hospitals are right nearby, we know that sick people are on their way to get really good care. We just passed the Kaiser complex, and look at all of those palm trees. They're not native to California, but you would think they are. I love our palm trees. They're so beautiful. So the weather today is about probably 80 degrees, a nice breeze in the air. It's not hot yet. Summer heat hasn't bogged us all down yet. It's just a really nice day. We're driving with the windows down. It's a good day for a drive. So living in Los Angeles, especially if you're from a small town, can be pretty intense. I grew up in a small town, a farm town in North County, north of San Diego, not near the beach, not near anything except for dairy farms, ranches, chicken processing places. So the smell was pretty terrific in pretty much the worst possible way. But there was a lot of beautiful stuff to see, a lot of rolling hills. So moving to Los Angeles was a complete and total trip. And I've gotten used to it now, but yeah, when you first get here, the traffic can be really overwhelming. The rent prices are definitely nuts. So my suggestion to anybody deciding to move to LA is come up here for a week, rent a car, get used to different neighborhoods, find out where you want to live, and you know, instead of saving up for a wedding ring, Save up 2 months rent for your rent and bills, because you never know what's going to happen. There's a lot of people that live here who are in the industry, and not just actors, but musicians, set designers, grips, camera, sound, lighting. Most of the film industry are hardworking 9 to 5 behind the scenes people. So when you come here, have a plan. Don't really plan on getting discovered your first day. The Schwab story with Lana Turner, that's not true. It is not a true story. Sorry, everybody. Most people who really make it in any capacity are a 10 to 20 year overnight success. But follow your dreams. Don't let anybody stop you. Just make sure that you don't go hungry while you're here, because it can be a pretty expensive place to live if you decide that you want to come here. But it's also a really fun place to live. We have a ton of museums. The beach is really fairly close, except for traffic. Venice Beach, Santa Monica, Manhattan Beach, the Marina Del Rey, Malibu. It's all drivable, or you can take the bus. There's a lot of buses. I personally don't recommend taking the bus. The weather here is really great pretty much all year. I would think that it gets pretty hot in the summer, so air conditioning is a must. But for the most part, we have about 350 days of great weather. But yeah, if you're going to move here, definitely have a plan. As you can see driving through on this video, it is during the situation. This is new added commentary, so this video was recorded a little while ago at the beginning of the situation, as you can see by a lot of the buildings being boarded up for the protests for Black Lives Matter and for the purpose of racial equality. I think having some windows boarded up, we can live with that right now. There's more important things than going shopping. Los Angeles is a multicultural city. We have a populace that spans every part of the globe. There are cultures that you get to experience and explore in this city almost like nowhere else in the world. The food here is amazing. Want to try Ethiopian food? We have it. You want Tex-Mex? We've got it. You want Asian fusion? Absolutely. So wherever you're from, come here. Come learn about new cultures, new people, old places. Los Angeles might be a pretty new city on this planet, but the history that it's collected by all of the different peoples of the world is amazing. It's one of the things I absolutely love about living in Los Angeles. So right there on your right is one of my favorite places, In-N-Out Burger. The drive-thru is open, and everybody that works there is so cool. They're just so nice, and they're standing out there taking everybody's order. Everybody's wearing masks, and it's just all good. In-N-Out is definitely a Southern California institution that I'm super grateful for. So when you're here, if you're not from here and you haven't ever had an In-N-Out burger, get in your car, go get in line. Don't do Burger King, don't do McDonald's, go get an In-N-Out burger. Eat something here that you can't eat at home. We highly suggest it. So coming up on your right, past this purple wall, is Ralph's grocery store. But this one is known as Rock and Roll Ralph's. It's open 24 hours a day, and you can see a lot of rock stars and musicians shopping there pretty much any time of night. This area is kind of notorious for being a musician's kind of enclave. Not famous musicians, but up-and-comers, new musicians, people that have moved here from elsewhere to join bands and, you know, try and get famous. It's pretty cool. I saw Motley Crue at Rock and Roll Ralph's. I saw Oasis at Rock and Roll Ralph's. I mean, you see everybody there. It's kind of crazy. So we're still in Hollywood, and as you can see, things are starting to change a little bit. We're headed towards the boundary of Hollywood and West Hollywood, and after West Hollywood is Beverly Hills. And you can find the Beverly Hills driving video on the Beverly Hills playlist. Coming up here is going to be the Comedy Store and Greenblatt's Jewish Delicatessen, which if you've never had deli food, you need to stop at Greenblatt's. The food is fantastic, it's traditional, and you will probably be hooked. So we're still on Sunset Boulevard, and to your right is a building called Pink Taco. But before that, it was a nightclub called the Roxbury. So if you've ever seen the movie The Roxbury, it's about what that club was. And now we are in an area, a shopping center area called Sunset Plaza. It is highly recommended that you be very rich to shop here, or stay in the hotels, or eat in these restaurants, because if you are not very rich, you probably won't be able to afford it. I don't eat in the restaurants or shop in Sunset Plaza because I am not rich, but it's lovely to drive past. On your right is the Comedy Store, owned by Pauly Shore and his late mother. That used to be Ciro's nightclub, which was owned by gangsters in the 40s, and the place is notoriously haunted. But we'll get into ghost stories of haunted Hollywood later, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you click the notification bell, because those ghost stories and haunted location videos are going to be coming up fairly quick, because we're getting closer to Halloween. So on your right is Mel's Diner. If you've ever seen the movie American Graffiti, that's the same Mel's Diner. Pretty standard 50s diner fare, really good food, kind of expensive, but it's a Sunset Plaza, so it's to be expected. But it's a really fun place to eat. That's the only place I can afford to eat on Sunset Plaza. Yuck, yuck, yuck. So we're on the Sunset Strip. That was the Whiskey A Go Go. And we're headed towards Beverly Hills, the border of West Hollywood and Beverly Hills. And there's a video of us driving through Beverly Hills. It's on our playlist, so go ahead and look for that if you want to see some beautiful, lush, landscaped neighborhoods of Beverly Hills. So this Sunset Strip is, nightclubs, rock and roll, and everything that it's famous for. Tattoo shops, bars. It's a good time. So we're nearing the end of the video, and we are just about to hit the border of West Hollywood, entering Beverly Hills, California. And you can see the landscape has changed. The streets are wider. The trees are big and lovely, and there is the famous Beverly Hills sign. Historic, absolutely. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Please click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified every time we post a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Driving through Hollywood.